I think I'm gonna have to fix this in a sec. It feels like something's a little off with how I set this up. One moment, Jet. Okay. Let's see if I can... Yeah, for some reason, whenever I'm... Alright, we're gonna do this then. 1 second then. I don't know why this is happening, so... Let's just Alt F4 that for a sec. There we go. I've come to Chew House and kick names and I don't see any names. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, I got no names for you either. Wait, I got one. Gareth. There we go. Alright, let's see. Let's restart all this. Oh, yeah, howdy, Xavier. Good to see you as well. Did I stutter? There we go. Did I stutter? I don't think I did. Alright, come on. Come on. Open your game. There we go. Oh my goodness. Ay. Gosh. Alright. Alright. We're gonna be looking at some snail snakes today. There we go. Perfect. Alright, 1 second. I'm gonna grab something real fast. Alright, I am back. God, which one's the one with the rune? I need to put away all these other weapons and crap that I don't use. Like, why the hell do I... There we go. There we go. I start chat. It's because I'm a lefty. Like, having to switch over to my left hand, it just, when I'm trying to do it unconsciously, it just, oh, it does not work out. No, it also doesn't work out? My jumping skills. Are you the corpse? Are you the body? You get stronger when I'm poisoned? But did that just happen? Oh, my. Something like that. Yeah, the pest talisman effect, cool. These two flowers lean into each other, you don't disturb them, so I think they're pollinating each other. Makes sense. Makes sense. We got bats here. There we go. Uh-huh. Yeah, so we go this way. I swear I will. I promise you I'm gonna... I'll figure out that my right hand is not the offhand eventually. Alright. Yay! Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna get poisoned. Oh, you're the sage. Okay. Serpent arrows, okay. Golden rune 5. If I recall correctly, what we want is like a 6 at least, right? Also, why the hell are you like this? Maybe you can find a left-handed mod. I'm sure those things exist, but you know, this thing is like such a pain, you know? Rather than me just getting over it. I didn't realize that's like a collapsed passage here, huh? It's funny too, because it's a passage that should lead to out here. Yeah, they really want you to... I guess you always make an argument that maybe it goes deeper underground or something, but... God, your texture work looks awful, lady. Yeah, I'm not impressed. We're just gonna wait until this stuff goes away. Wish they reskinned the Demon Prince and made a wild giant bat animal. I'll be honest, that's actually kind of interesting to think about, them actually trying to, you know, re-implement Demon Prince. But don't give them ideas for Night Rain, okay? We don't need any more Dark Souls bosses in that title. You know what? I think I'm going to, reset. Yeah, I think I'm gonna reset one more time. Ow! Why does this happen to me? Ah! I'd love to fight Demon Prince again. If it was like a one-phase fight in Night Rain, I think it would work, definitely. I wouldn't want to go through the whole, you know, 2 phases going through, Demon from Below and Demon in Pain all over again just to go into the second phase. Just give me the one Demon Prince with all of his skills. Hey, even better, give us Demon Prince when he's not possessing a bat, you know? Like, well, how did the Demon Prince look in his true body? There we go. Yeah, something like this. So this guy's a sage. Now the question is, what was he a sage of? Was he like Gowry and he was like really into poisons? Like, what was his heresy that got him driven out? We also, the same question could be applied to Gowry. Like, what was Gowry so heretical about before the rot became his thing, right? Ah. So that's how they're gonna play it. Okay, so we have to go a little bit further in, but not that much further in. Make us fight both Demon Princes in their final form, laser meteorites everywhere. No, no dual reincarnation. We already have multiverse. Oh my god. We already have the multiverse. We don't need anything else. Oh. Alright, I can do this. See, I can do this on ×5 speed. It just requires very accurate controller movements. Speaking of, let's get the flowers too. You're not the flower. There you go. I'm glad I raised a more chill game when it comes to lore, and I think lore nerds do break. Say you say that? You say that, and then we're gonna get some really crazy revelations in there. And it's not gonna be a chill game anymore. My response is, be careful, be careful, be careful. You don't know what you're wishing for. I'm expecting that at least we're gonna get some good lore on the Elden Ring side. I don't know about Dark Souls. I could see the Dark Souls lore just being, hey, we're rehashing, you know, obvious Dark Souls 3 lore, or Dark Souls 2 lore, or whatever. We're not gonna say anything too revolutionary here. No, it's obviously gonna be fun, dorky stuff, but people take it as gospel. Oh, I can't wait for the multiverse theories. You know those are gonna go ham. There's no escaping that. It's inevitable. Just prepare for it now. You're gonna start seeing how souls in Dark Souls are gonna be like, I don't know, like stars in Elden Ring or something, you know? We're gonna get some wild crap. Alright. This could work. Yeah, but Miyazaki's not gonna be, actually, I shouldn't say that, because he's not the director, but it could be that he's gonna be handing over some lines. Like, I guess we'll figure it out when the game is out, right? But it could turn out that he's gonna be involved, but I'm not expecting much. I'm expecting that it's gonna be something like, if it's anything involving Miyazaki, it's gonna be filtered through the new director. Like, it's gonna be what they've chatted about or conversation-wise on, oh, what can we do for the lore, right? Or maybe he's referencing Martin stuff the same as that, right? Like, again, I'm very curious what the interviews for this game post-launch are gonna be like, because right now they're in the, you know, PR mode where, you know, we gotta get the sales out, so we're gonna say all these nice things or whatever, and then maybe some dirty laundry will get aired about how the process went after the fact. Say he was involved in the early stage. Yeah, that's like, you know, that's like saying, like, you know, like Miyazaki was involved in the early stages for Fires of Rubicon and something. So it's like, okay, the premise is probably him and stuff like that. But then the question's going to be, what about all, you know, the actual, you know, writing the lore part, you know, actually writing that out, putting it in the game and all that stuff, right? That's something that, you know, is probably going to be handled by the new director. Or, you know, it could be Miyazaki's going to do that too. Like I said, it's going to be, we'll know when we get to see the end credits. Gladius is the name of the three-headed wolf. Oh, cool. I didn't know that name was announced or whatever. Could someone explain to me why this woman's textures are so goddamn awful? Like, I swear, I have never seen... Like, it looks like I'm looking at an LOD. Alright, that's fair. There we go. Alright, I think that's enough shots of the stuff here. So you have a sage here. Maybe he's like a sage who like is on Gallery's same page, so he also like he helped lead them here and he happened to get killed by the bats and stuff. Maybe something of that nature. Uh-huh. We already got shots of this in the past, I recall. Can we bring our friend over here is the question. Let's see. Ma'am. Ma'am. Madam. I did turn AI back on. Yeah, it's a number, not stealthing. Alright. Let's see if I got anything crazy on hand here. There we go. There we go. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, like, to Tyrone's point, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we got some, like, more, like, you know, explicit statements on, like, stuff at the Firstborn or Centipede Demon or, you know, things involving those bosses and their lore, right? Like, maybe take some of the implicit stuff from those games and make it more explicit. Or maybe have some, like, brief elaboration on what happened to these bosses as they transferred from the Dark Souls world to Elden Ring's one or whatever, right? But it's one of those things where I'm not going to be going out of my way to try to like think too hard about like how this is gonna work on the multiverse level, because it's all silly. And the devs themselves are basically admitting it. Let's look below here for a second. Do a little bit of destruction here. A little bit here. So that better translate that people think are retcons. Oh my god. I mean, considering Dark Souls 3 had it pretty okay for the most part, I hope there's not going to be something like that. I hope it's all going to be, it's not going to be, or even worse, that Elden Ring somehow has some worse translations than for Dark Souls 3. So that'd be even worse. What are egregious translation issues top of your head from Dark Souls? Like, one of my favorite ones that I always love to bring up as, like, you know, a titular example is, Ornstein piercing stone scales getting turned into him cutting a boulder in half. Because it's just such blatant, like, it's one of those things where you just know, like, oh yeah, the translator just glanced at the text for, like, the briefest millisecond and wrote the first thing that came to their mind. Like, those generic slop of, like, oh yeah, the knight that... you know, just completely sliced it right in two. There we go. How to make the rules. Alright, so that one's a big one. Another big one is, of course, like the Seance Rings. They're not Seance Rings, they're Priest Rings, which has a very unfortunate knockdown effect when you get to the White Priest Ring, which is, again, supposed to be the Way of White Priest Ring, right? So you have, like, You have like the Dark Moon Faith priest ring, because you know it's a ring for a priest to Gwendolyn. Which, by the way, priests in Dark Souls 1 got translated to bishops, which makes things awkward, because then Dark Souls 3 introduces actual bishops, and they ended up getting translated as deacons to rectify their issue from the like it's all just a fucking mess. Just buy my books, people. Buy my books. I go over it. Just pay like 20 bucks for a digital copy. And you'll be able to have, at the tip of your fingers, with one single Control plus F, you can find my commentary on all of these and more. Ay, ay, ay. My favorite are the ones I forget about. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, there's this, and this is the lore or whatever. And then, like, I'm like, someone's like, right, maybe, oh, no, I don't remember that being a thing. And then I, like, look at the English, and I'm like, oh, my God, I forgot how badly this was done. With my, you know, my goldfish memory is a blessing and a curse, that's for sure. Sometimes it means that I end up, like, you know, thinking I've discovered something new when it's something I've discovered, like, months or years ago. I just completely forgot that I already included it in my analysis. Sometimes, though, it's some of these, like, egregious errors where it's like, oh my god, my brain, it hurts. Like in Demon Souls, oh my god, Demon Souls. Oh yeah, all the nobles, you know, they're royalty now. I love the remake, too. They fixed the noble mistranslation for, like, every example except the actual class. They, like, didn't touch anything. They didn't touch the opening cutscene. They didn't touch, like, any of the classes or their class descriptions, which, if I recall correctly, still makes reference to, like, you know, gods for the temple and stuff. It's like, no, they only worship the one god. Nameless King, name finally revealed, name gets mistranslated. I am curious if the name I think that they would go with will actually be the one that they go with it, if it ever gets revealed. I really do wonder. Which one do you think? I posted it back on Twitter a while back. But essentially, it's if Filianor is the son of man, then I suspect that the idea would be that that Miyazaki would decide, you know, just because, you know, it's Miyazaki, he would decide to name the firstborn the son of dragon, right? It would be something, and again, it would translate translating back to like Tolkien's Elvish, so it would be something like, I forget what but like something like Agranor or something like that. I remember posting it on the Twitters a while back, and I kind of just like threw it out there, see if anyone would pick up on my reasoning why. But I forget what the exact like spelling I went with was. But it's one of those things where I'm like, ah, yeah, okay, so the firstborn gets named like Agranor, then Guinevere gets born, and then you have Filianor born after that, and then you have Gwendolyn, right? So you go between a Gwyn name and an Anor name, right? So I was just thinking, like, that seems like just something like Miyazaki would do. But again, who knows? It could be another Gwyn name. They could come up with something completely different. Like, who knows, right? We won't know what the canon is until Miyazaki finally thinks of it. We have our snail snakes around here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to turn. I completely forgot about AI. Whoops. Whoopsie. Also, I should probably turn on ×5 speed, since we're screwing around so much. First, though, let's switch over and go to Moonlight Altar, because I want to confirm the locations of the snail snakes there. Ah, damn. Hit continue. Other name was actually Farim, like the God of War in DS2 for some reason, just because I think. Oh, that's another one. Like all the names, like Faram becoming Farnum in the Japanese version. Like DS2 especially, they had such ridiculous names. I'm so grateful to the localization for changing them up. Like, oh my god, like some of those, like what was Targray's, like something like Tolkaneo, so like some really weird way to pronounce that, right? Like it's oh no, what was it, Garandok? I think Targray was like Garandok or something like that. Anyway, alright, let's get to Moonlight Altar. I hope the names are kept the same as in Dark Souls, because demons don't exist in Elden Ring, so what else could they be? Like Centipede Demon? So do you mean like they still use the name Demon for the bosses and stuff there? Yeah, as far as I'm aware, I don't think Demon is a term used in this game, so it should be okay. I don't think that's gonna cause any issues. Even then, I mean, nothing's... The thing is, the Japanese version specifically uses the English, demon term, right? They don't use, like, Akuma or something like that. So I can actually see a scenario where, like, even if they introduce their own demon, in the Japanese version at least, they might use a different one, and then it's up to the localization whether they're going to keep it consistent and just say, yeah, we'll still call it demons, or they're going to use some other term like fiend or something, you know? Where the hell is the corpse in this area? Shabriri's a demon, I think, or am I just thinking where his name comes from? Just where his name comes from. They never actually state that Shabriri in Elden Ring is a demon. It's just that Shabriri is a reference to a Jewish demon. Would kill myself if that was my name. Fiend could also work since the Blood Fiends exist in the DLC. Yeah, that's true. Man, imagine if Margit was called like the instead of the Fell Omen, it was like the Omen Fiend or something, or the Fiend Omen. Then we got our favorite little ogress Anastasia and stuff. It's so annoying because we have all the red particles and stuff from beating the game and stuff. Which is one of the downsides for having a character who's unlocked everything but completed. Oh, there we go. Alright. Alright, we'll do this. Nameless Lord. That would be funny. Can I make this work, I wonder? Wait, I just realized they definitely gonna change the names. Ain't no way they're gonna keep Duke's Dear Freya as a boss name. Maybe. The thing is that Freya's name, as I recall, was Fredia in the JP. So it's not gonna overlap with, like, you know, the Elden Ring Freya. But I have no idea how they're gonna handle that otherwise. Granted, they changed Pharos to Faroth, right, for the fort, so who knows? Again, I know it's always Frog Nation doing the localization, but like the inconsistencies I've sometimes seen with them, I have no idea what they're gonna do or not do when it comes to this like crossover type stuff. Is it over there? Did I miss it? No, it's over here, right? Oh, it's over here. There we go. Did the JP also have the Dukes mention the name? Yeah, the only thing that wasn't really in there was the deer part, right? There wasn't anything that really translates to deer. That was a bit of a localization flourish. It was basically just the Duke's Fredia, as I recall. Hey, no, Bray. Please teach me the ways of being a Bible nerd, Tyro. Just listen to a bunch of different perspectives and stuff, you know, no, Bray. I will say, I think the biblical YouTube scene is very much alive. A lot of interesting stuff to hear about. Is it super interesting? Yeah. Granted, I'm more of a... I especially like when it overlaps with my other interests, which are, you know, like, you know, archaeology or, you know, doctrine or stuff like that. So sometimes I can have very specific tastes, right? But when it comes to that type of stuff, like, they've got some really good things out there. I think this is the only corpse, if I recall correctly. At least the one with a golden rune, so I think I got the one. Yeah, I think we're good here. Because the idea is this place is mostly abandoned. Is it for lore reason we don't find these peculiar style runes in the DLC, or do they just not want to reuse them for gameplay? It could be because they didn't want to reuse them for gameplay. I mean, they created the entire tile set for the horn set runes, and even though those are supposed to be, you know, burned down, they don't look really burned down, right? I'm trying to think. Did we ever have anything similar? Like, the closest I can think of is maybe the purified runes, but it's never explicitly indicated that they were burned, right? Yeah, oh, down here. Smoldering, I guess you could say was, right? Though it could just be that's, you know, fall into disrepair and stuff, because the smoldering might just be for setting up the wall here. Calum is being, well, I forget, how are you supposed to pronounce, Kylum? I think it's Kylum, or was it Calum? No, it's because it's no, it's K-Lid, it's Kyle, yeah. I'm pretty sure, no, it's Keelum, yeah. It's K-Lid, it's Keelum, oh god. All these frickin' words and how they're pronounced. Anyway, so, Keelum is being burned actively, right? So yeah, I think it's just a matter of they create a unique horn scent city assets I should say. And with all those assets and stuff and all the added ash effects and stuff they could add, I don't think they felt any reason to just use these generic destroyed ones. Again, I don't think there's anything like, oh my god, the fact that they all use the same architectural style is, like, very important to the lore. Like, no, I think they just have a generic tile set. And maybe if they have, like, special differences between them, like, you know, like some on Altus have the golden plants instead of the green and stuff like that, right? Like, maybe something like that, I think it becomes a little bit more important. But I think for the most part, it's just them basically using the same tile set. And it's sort of shorthand for, this is a destroyed town, or village, or settlement, or building, or whatever. Yeah, I've seen Dr. Falk's work, Tyrone. Is it for lore reason we don't find these peculiar style? Oh, no, I read that. How you doing today, Loki, bro? I'm doing okay, no, Bray. I'm a bit tired. I only got, like, 2-3 hours of sleep, today, so... Hoping to get myself back on my normal, schedule, starting tonight. So, we'll see how that works out. Other than that, though, I mean, can't really complain. Yeah, IP's got some good stuff, too. Yeah, nothing else from you guys. Gotcha. Yeah, where the hell is that body over here? Ah! Found it! It took a... Oh, there's two of you! Beautiful. Streamer luck, chat. This is what my streamer luck goes into. It won't let me win my gotchas, but it will, in fact, let me win my finds randomly out in the open world. I'll just come across the thing I need. Oh. That wasn't very nice. I think those are the only two. So I think that should be good. Do you think Marika is dead at the end of the game? Like, she's just the vessel for the Elden Ring and nothing else? I would say no. Like, yeah, I would argue that's functionally what she is, right? She can't do anything, really. But I wouldn't say she's dead, per se. They go out of their way to talk about how she's just imprisoned, right? Yeah, we need to create a character so we can get shots of all three of the dragons here at some point. Loki moment. Accidentally destroyed ancient priceless ruin. Only if I fall on it. Otherwise, that's just an indie moment. I just wish these ruins scattered around were more unique in regards to, like, architecture and stuff, because if it ain't wrong, it's practically all the same, just the shapes are different. Yeah. It's, again, like I was saying earlier, it's just them using a tile set because it's simpler. It's like, this is how we will convey a ruined build, you know, destroyed building, right? But yeah, it would be nice if there was a little bit more, you know, individual variety, right? Like, that's something where if someone created a mod where they tried to create a lore-accurate version of all these ruins, I would not have a problem with that. For one, because a lot of these ruins tend to be so much more destroyed than you'd imagine. Like, you'd think these things were, like, destroyed, like, you know, thousands of years ago or something, with the state of repair they're in and the level of, like, you know, lack of detail they have of anything else. Even though something like Purified Ruins is obviously relatively recent compared to, say, Yellow Anise, right? And even Yellow Anise, it's like, I don't care how long you think Marika's Kingdom is. I don't think it's enough that, like, literally this entire place is, like, got, like, not even roofs over their own heads, you know? Or if they do, I would love more environmental storytelling conveying why that is, right? I was thinking about that earlier today, actually. Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, yeah, I think, again, I will not knock Elden Ring for this. I think it's fine, and as I said before, there's always a little bit of creative liberties you have to take when you're interpreting stuff for the lore. But it's one of those things where if there was a mod that would go the extra mile to do that, I would appreciate it greatly, and I wouldn't hold against modders for doing that. Obviously, assuming it was all, you know, like, accurate and stuff, right? Like, I wouldn't want to see the Moonlight Altar use, like, I don't know, Lanedell buildings or something like that, you know, like... It's like, okay, at least try to keep it Karian. I cannot find where the goddamn these snail snake people are. I think it was down here is where we see at least some of them. But they really aren't in a lot of places. Yeah, here they are. Alrighty. Let's go from here. Yeah. I had that thought because Hugh was tasked by Marika to make a weapon to kill a god, and then regularly tells us to slay the god Marika, of course. Again, I think the point is that Marika is not dead yet. Our goal by the end of the game is to kill her, or at least her goal for us is to kill her, right? This is why, well, I haven't made a final determination personally, because, you know, I don't think it's the question's that important at the moment. I am very much open to the idea that, you know, Marika, you know, hijacked the Two Fingers thing, you know, tried to subvert the Greater Will, by, you know, making it so that way she can be killed and no longer is in prison like this and all that stuff. And that she's been pulling the strings in some form, some fashion this entire time. I'm very much sympathetic to that perspective. I found it really cool that near Aleem, there are some statues which are definitely were inspired by some mosaic portrayals of Christ. Yeah, I think there's a very good mix of how do I put this? I think there's a very good mix of like you know, Christian imagery, you know, beyond just generic medieval. Oh, look, we have a cathedral, right? In Elden Ring compared to others and stuff, right? Like, there's a lot of like little like, you know, Judeo-Christo references in like, you know, like how, you know, there's the whole thorns with the crucifixions and stuff, right? Just little things like that where it's like, oh, that's nice, right? In other games, it's a lot subtler and not really as present, right? Like, I think of like, you know, like, oh, Guinevere being being internally a reference to Mary and stuff like that. It's like cool. For the most part, we don't get what? What? Nani? They appear in forest, Loki. Yeah, usually in the vicinity of minor Erd trees. I didn't realize this was considered in the vicinity of a minor Erd tree. Like, I'm pretty sure we could get them as far as, like, here, right? So I'm not it's not that crazy to me going by the distance, right? Like, that's a wide radius. But still. I think it's just forest in general. No, because, like, every forest, it's always there where a minor Erd tree is, right? Including, like, Caelid areas and stuff where there isn't really a forest, so. I don't think it's just simply forests and stuff. But that's funny to me. Huh. Was not expecting that. Let's see. Oh my god. There we go. Oh my goodness, it's crazy to me. I would, you know, I should be that surprised because we also get some, by the Erd tree root. Actually, do we get the flowers for sure. I don't remember if we get the roots at all. But we definitely get more, like, Erd tree stuff and stuff by the roots underground, too. So I guess having it, like, so high on this, like, you know, mesa thing is not that insane either. It's just, I would not have expected that. That would not have been on my bingo card for sure. Alright. I think it's enough for those. Let's wait for the other one to disappear so it doesn't like create this weird backlight distracting us. Do 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 do. Oh wait, before I forget. Oh. Dude. Oh. There we go. There we go. Damn. I was too far. There we go. Ugh. This stupid thing with the embers! What if we do this? I didn't give enough time to disappear, I don't think. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get the shot I want. Wait. Wait. Unless... Alright, so it's gonna be a bit more zoomed in than I would want it. But at the very least, I can get it. Oh, you guys talk about America and Godfrey stuff. I will say, I think that, well, I'm sure America, again, assuming that it was America, not the Greater Will's decision for that part, I think having, sending Godfrey away and making that whole promise and stuff to the Tarnished was in fact she had something in mind. I don't think that necessarily connects to what we see in the final game, though. Again, because it's very clear that her breaking the Elden Ring and stuff, was her, like, the game makes it clear that she kind of snapped. So, I wouldn't be... Oh, man, that's not working. I wouldn't be so... I wouldn't, how do I put it? I wouldn't be so gung-ho, personally, in thinking that, you know, like, you know, she had some master plan, like, everything since the moment she sent Godfrey away. I think she probably had something in mind, and I think she then adapted that plan to suit the new circumstances she found herself in as a result of her unplanned actions involving breaking the Elden Ring and stuff. That's where I personally land on that. Hello, crystals. I forgot how blue everything is up here, you know? Alright, so we find some serpent snakes and stuff. Okay, this is good. Where else do we find them? We find the crystal ones in Liurnia. We find one in Altus Tunnel. I don't think they're in the old Altus Tunnel. We find regular ones in Noxtella, which makes sense, right? Because I remembered the original idea I had with what I thought was lore significant about them being down here, and that was that that they were probably brought here along with, like, the interactions with the Carians, like, you know, kind of like rats and stuff. Like, they basically spread and infested themselves down in Noxtella when they're, like, you know, trading smithing stone and stuff. And because there's no crystal here, instead of the crystal ones like we see in Liurnia, they become the normal ones again, right? Then she turns around, summons Red again. Well, the thing with that, Mitch, is that you're also ignoring the entire period of just America and Radigan, like, ruling and, like, a giant age of peace and prosperity going on, right? And her having more kids and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot there's a lot going on in between there. So it's not like, you know, America, like, goes in and it's like, okay, now I'm, like, obviously she got rid of Godfrey and quickly married Radigan. Obviously she had something in mind with that, right? There's a reason why she chose to marry her other self. But then there's a lot of other things and events that are going on with her establishing fundamentalism and figuring out how to properly use the order and establishing an entire, you know, reorienting her entire culture around this new idea of order over chaos and stuff like that. So, like, she was trying to work within the system. It wasn't like, you know, the whole shattering of the Elden Ring thing was like that happened right after she married her second hubby. Now, as for the Tarja stuff, like I said, it's obvious that she had something in mind. Assuming it was her, it wasn't like something that the Greater Will had, like, you know, forced her to do, right? So I'm sure there was some intention for it. I just wouldn't say it's necessarily, you know, what we get in the final game was her original plan. basically a woman moment. I don't know about that, but definitely a moment. Alright, yeah, there's nothing else here. It's all turtles and stuff. Oh, okay. Okay. How cute. I don't recall if these exact flowers are used in the DLC or not. At, like, at the other cathedral. America is such a mystery, it's driving me nuts. I think my summary I did on Twitter gets a good, like, grasp of, like, her central, like, you know, character arc and stuff, right? I think America is just someone who, is very much taken with becoming a god. She finds out the hard way that she's not really, you know, the big G that she thinks she is. She tries everything she can to try to get a grasp on, you know, securing herself for eternity, on her grasp on power. And eventually, tries to, you know, through her own mess-ups, tries to start kind of, like, figuring out, you know, what exactly she's really dealing with. I think by the end, she's more or less, you know, kind of, you know, like, happy with, like, you know, like, she's done what she can. If she has to, like, give up at some point, she will. But then she loses her you know, her loves, her children and stuff like that, right? And I think that's the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, that was one, you know, Godwin and the others were the one kid too many type deal, right? And so after that, you know, she says, you know, fuck it all, I'm gonna destroy everything, right? And then she just wants to die. I think that's how it goes with America. She did a lot of bad things in order to put herself up on top, right? And it kind of, you know, ate away at her, I think, slowly but surely, little by little over time. Like, before the DLC, people were still evenly split on whether she playing Godwin death or not. Yeah, because people are stupid. Like, that's just a like, that's just silly. Ah, yeah, she planned to drive herself crazy by killing her kids. Yes, truly. The 5D move. You don't know how to drive yourself crazy enough to break your ring. So in order to do it, you orchestrate a complicated assassination plot, right? I get why, though, people do that, though, because the item description talking about, like, her connection with the, what is it called? Her connection with the, Newman. Like, it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. You connect the Nox to the Newman or whatever, or the Newman and the Nox and the stuff to Selly or whatever, and it kind of leads you to think, oh, okay, well, maybe if they have, like, these secret, like, you know, connections and stuff, then maybe, you know, America and things were, like, you know, actually working together, right? It's not really what the text is saying, but I get it, right? Based on just reading the English. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, Sub-Zero. The whole close ties thing. It's supposed to be talked about, like, in an emotional or psychological sense in terms of being, like, you feel a kindred spirit with the other person, right? It's all about how the fact that Marika's a Newman, and so were, you know, Marika was herself a Newman and was from the same tribe, which is referenced in another description from a different item. So, again, I get why people do so, but it's like, it's silly. It's a silly scenario. I would like to think that she loved Godwin too much to murder. I think she loved all her kids too much. Like I said, from what I've seen and the way Marika's behavior subtly changes over the course of the timeline, it seems very clear to me that she's tired of killing her own kids by the end. So she would not be, there's just no way she would be orchestrating this conspiracy. Like, her last line we have, like, her last, like, recorded line before she commits to breaking the Elden Ring, if I recall correctly, was, something like, my beloved children, like, what was it, like, my beloved children, and I remember, it was something to the effect of, you know, like, just, you know, like, you know, the one, you know, like, it was about basically, like, you know, the sacrifices you have to make to become a god and stuff like that, and what you have to prepare for and that sort of thing, to become a god and a lord and all that stuff. It's very clear that, you know, she's speaking about her own experience. It's, like, this very somber, like, this kind of somber, like, acceptance of the fact that she is not in control of everything as much as she would like and things like that. Yeah, there's nothing here, right? It's just... yeah. It's just Albinorix, wolves, and skellies. I'm glad that Marika's not Nox, because honestly, she has, like, zero similarities. Like, if she's Nox, where did all the tree imagery come from? I was open to the idea that, being, like, baseline Newman, any connection to the Nox could be, supplemented by her becoming, becoming a vessel for the Elden Ring, and it, like, turned her skin, like, you know, radiant gold, you know, quote-unquote, right? You know, she's that, like, radiant, white skin and stuff like that. So I was open to that idea, but I agree. I like that we just know if we get, like, absolute confirmation of where Marika's hometown and stuff is. Like, that's gonna make analysis for me so much easier and stuff, and trying to, like, follow, like, you know, her background, what was her life with, what's his fail? Wow, I was that close to the dungeon, huh? With Malekith, like, you know, all that jazz. Because now it's like, we have, like, a different culture and thing that's a lot more focused around her, right? In the DLC. It's like, okay, I don't have to, like, parse this from, like, all the stuff that's in, like, Nameless Eternal City or something, which was obviously, the best, you know, that was my conclusion when I could do that. I was like, okay, well, this is the best guess we got based on all the circumstances. But Miyazaki said, no, you see, you're actually missing an entire landmass that got, you know, yeeted to another dimension. Yeah, make of thyself that which ye desire, be it lord, be it a god, but if ye fail to be aught at all, ye will be forsaken, amounting only to sacrifices. Yeah, that's exactly the point, right? You gotta think about that. She sacrificed Melina in Glowmine Queen, you know, in order to maintain her hold on power, right? She sacrificed her Omen children in order to maintain her hold on power. You know, like, it's one of these things where, like, she's made so many sacrifices over the time, and it's very clear, like, that's weighed on her. Which is why, again, the whole Godwin thing is just silly. It serves absolutely zero benefit to her. Hey Loki, really enjoyed your conversation with Acer on Fire Leaking. Great talk. Thanks, Nicolino. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I'll be honest, listening it to the review before it went up, I really want to have that Lothric talk with someone. Like, I just want to talk about Lothric. Like, oh my god, the Lothric royal family is just... it's so good. Such good lore. There are no serpents in the Three Sisters. Alright. So then... like I said, there's the tunnel there. We have the... I know in the catacombs, there's that spirit snail, right? Abandoned coffin? The fact she didn't kill Morgoth and Mo proves to me that killing Melina weighed heavily on her. You think so, huh? For me, I think it was just telling, because it showed that the fact that she and the other royals would abandon their... like, obviously there's the hypocrisy angle, right? Where America wanted to get rid of all this Hornsent and the curse, but when for the royals it came to their own kids, they basically, you know, from everything we can tell, it looks like America and Godfrey held out to basically, like, the very end in order to maintain power. Because it's like, listen, you tell all the other people to kill their horn babies and you get to keep yours. Like, it's like, right? Like, I can see how that was causing a lot of political destabilization, right? And again, I can see why it weighed on Godfrey especially, right? With that somber reaction he has to seeing Morgoth again for the last time before he, you know, passes on fully. It's very much that moment of... let's go back to Noxtella. it's very much that kind of like that moment of like Godfrey's a man who like he's always direct and stuff. Like he's always like, no, if there's any problems with that, I'm going to just, you know, fight my way and, you know, beat everyone up or kill, you know, kill all who oppose me or whatever, right? Like that's his normal thing. But he can't do that now as a lord, right? Like he's got to be more diplomatic and be thoughtful because hey, if you just go, you know, trying to collect everyone and be a tyrant to everybody like that, that's just going to cause everyone to rebel and it's going to like completely destabilize. We're not going to have a functional kingdom that way and all that stuff, right? Like, so it's one of those things where, like, you know, Godfrey feels very bitter and helpless about it, and Marika feels, you know, Marika feels like, no, I gotta do this to maintain my power, but like I said, it adds to the, you know, it just kind of, you know, it's another one for the pile. It just keeps piling and piling and piling, right? There's crystal snakes at Snowfield and spirit caller snakes. That's right, the Snowfield has some of those snakes. Gotta make sure we include those then. I can't wait to see what Eternal City or Nox lore we're gonna get with Night Rain, though. If we get anything really juicy, like even if it's just environmental stuff, if we just get like the name of a city or something, it's like I don't know, like Nocris, the transient city or something like that, and like we get to like get an idea of like settlements that Nox had above ground once upon a time or something like that. Or maybe like a fourth Eternal City that we never get to explore but does exist somewhere theoretically in base game Elden Ring. Like, there's just so much, there's like so much cool stuff we can do with that. Have we determined that Marika killed Melina? As Glowmite Queen, yes. In terms of what happened after that, your guess is as good as mine, because it seems like she may have, like, resurrected her spirit, and, like, thrown her, basically, like, hid her away in a, what do you call it? In, like, you know, kind of like a house arrest type of little, not really a prison, but, you know, they use the prison door thing for it. You know, where we find her, quote-unquote, room up, approaching Forbidden Lands. Hey, I need the Discord. I got a link if it's free to join. Sure, Sub-Zero, if you want to join the Discord server, just take the link to my website in the description, go to the contact page. It'll be one of the links there. Like, you'll see a YouTube, a Twitter, and the other link should be for Discord. And it's basically the invitation. So just click that, and you should automatically join if you're logged into your account. Cool, thanks. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I should honestly advertise the Discord more, because I know I do it for, I made it because people, you know, asked about creating a, about, like, having some place they could go to talk about lore and stuff, right? But I feel like I, you know, because I, like, want to be very hands-off, because, you know, it's more for you guys than for me, though I have also benefited from it, and I thank you guys greatly. I feel like I need to, like, you know, do my part and, like, you know, talk about it more. Because I'm sure there's tons of people who, like, follow me on Twitter and stuff who don't know that I even have a Discord. Because I very rarely mention it in tweets, and I'm sure not everybody's always checking my tweets. We need more Loki Bros on Discord, Loki Bro. We gotta add more Scholars of the Last Sin. It's very important. I'm in the court. It's always good stuff. Yeah, I think we, I would say we're like with the most active Discord anything, but I'm very happy with the community we have and what goes on, right? I just like the fact that you guys are able to kind of like have a space where you can like, you know, chat and argue and debate and like do what you will, sharing your ideas and stuff, and you know, giving new data, you know, supplying new theories or whatever, you know. I think it's very nice. I think generally because of the nature of my content, I think you know, fingers crossed, but I think I attract some pretty good eggs for the most part. We've had, like, I think only, what, like, one troll who, like, joined, the Discord once upon a time, I vaguely recall. I forgot the building down here was destroyed. Yeah, I don't think this was Estelle then. Yeah. Okay, I'm going with my... I'm definitely... Okay, I'm finally gonna say... Okay, so... It's like somewhere like here, I think? Or was it here? Yeah, so... So it's like, Estelle comes down, drops one little Estelle, you know, right? Which burrows up to the Altus tunnel that we see. Goes through here, drops another one here, goes down this passage, which takes us to this one here, goes down out this way, right? So completely evades Noxtella and stuff. But Noxtella, like, see the giant freaking star string that goes all the way down there, and like, what are we gonna do? Okay, we're gonna clog up the river here, and by staunching the river, the rot will proliferate, and the rot will eventually flow all the way down there and rot him out. And all the destroyed buildings here are because of fighting, like, fundamentalists and crap. Yeah, as I've said before, I think the royal bairn is being used for the royals in general, because there probably were a lot of royals where they were still babies, but with Morgott and Mohg specifically, it's very obvious that they were not abandoned as children. Both for the stuff that Morgott does with his spells and stuff, which seem to reference back to his time in the court, and the fact that they both have and know their names and are perfectly eloquent individuals. They clearly are not wild children. Just left to fend for themselves. They are articulate. So yeah, I don't... And based on everything we've seen, I don't for a second believe that any otherwise. Yeah, this sucks. There's no more snakes or serpents here, at least, so... Yeah. Ainsel River. This is the cloister. We've taken enough shots there for now. Ul Palace Ruins. I don't think I need any shots of this. Maybe one day I'll cover the ancient dynasty stuff, but for now I think I need to learn more. There's nothing here with the snakes and stuff. Yeah, it's just Noxtella. I guess we'll go to Snowfield then. If I recall correctly... Yeah, I think, if I recall correctly, it's somewhere here, right? Priscilla also had a loving mother who was gonna totally check on her, Night Scout. I think there's a very different circumstance with, our Omen twins, which are basically supposed to be dumped in the sewers as a final mercy, and apparently not supposed to be seen again. Ignore the red particle. I will edit it out. This is one of those moments where I'm like, you know what? I'll just remove it in post. That is super easy to do with this one. It's like, goddamn, a blanket of freaking whitish gray. Night Scout, I'm not gonna go into the whole Priscilla thing. I've written an entire book talking about it. It's very clear that Velka loves Priscilla. So the idea that, you know, because she's growing up in a prison because the gods fear her ability. You know, the ability based on the same power that her mother herself is heavily associated with. I don't think there's gonna be, like, this big problem with her growing up to be, like, a, you know, relatively normal individual, you know? There's definitely a lore explanation there that is said. Oh, God. I completely forgot about that. Let me also get rid of, where is it? There we go. Let's go this way. Weren't there some by the catacomb? Or am I misremembering that? I'm not even at the catacomb yet. Yeah, there are. Okay, I was like, pretty sure there are at least a few by the catacomb. Oh my god. That just sucks. Having the footsteps and stuff get in the way. There we go. All right. Yeah, the fact that he even has like makes like a perfect replica of Godfrey doing so, like, the best you could probably argue there is that the fighting style is like a creative liberty because they're copy pasting the Godfrey boss, right? But it's like, oh, you know, it's because, you know, this is just like how we imagine he's fight, based on, like, I don't know, maybe like records or something. It's like, I guess, but that's like, man, those are some very informative records. Yeah, I get, like I've said before, I think all the stuff that Morgoth does with his, both the circumstances for their birth and stuff, what we learn about them during their time in the sewers, and, like, everything else, including the shackles. They have these giant shackle things they have to keep them down there and everything. Bloody shackles that were attached to them and stuff like that. You think they're just putting that thing in a baby? Well, I just don't buy it. Alright, so that's where the thing is, huh? No, it's okay, it's just the underground. Is that it? Is it just the one I did underground? I thought it was a separate one. I guess so. I don't see it. Yeah, and I don't think there's any more. I think this is where we get to the wolf section, right? Also, looking at the lore we got for... Yeah, looking at the lore that we got for the Highland set from the DLC, I mean, I kind of thought this before, right? But I didn't want to, like, dive in too deep into it, right? When, like, there were so many other topics to worry about. But now that the Highland set's talking about, like, you know, the white cloth is used to represent their homeland and stuff, I'm like, Oh, so they come from Kaiden probably then, yeah. Like they're all descendants of Kaiden, which is why the leather helmet and the Kaiden helm look so similar, right? So you got like nomads in the snowfields that like go down to go to the non-snowy plateau, right? Plateaus, I guess we can say now, with the DLC included with Shadow Altus and Rao Base and all that, right? And those guys down there get really big into the, you know, hunting beasts and you know, hunting big powerful beasts and stuff like that. While Kaiden people are just sort of chilling. Which honestly makes the way that they get recruited mostly by, you know, ultimately get recruited for the most part by Godfrey's descendants kind of, you know, ironic. Wow. Even on this character, I still have items I've missed. Crazy. Yeah, no more snake people. I think that's it. They just keep them on the edges, right? Oh, you guys are finished. Cool. These guys are like, what do we do now? I don't know what I'm supposed to do! Look, do you prefer Frigid Outskirts or Consecrated Snowfield? Consecrated Snowfield. It's not even a question. Like, why would you ask me that? Like, you know what the answer's gonna be in Obre. Like, what the hell am I supposed to pick? Wait. Wait, am I crazy? Wait. Huh? There's two? Nani? When was there two? Was this always a thing? I did not realize this. What the hell? Oh. Yeah, there's only been two carriages out here? Wow. Wow. Well, that explains why I don't always remember the Kaiden guy being in this group. Nah, unfortunately. It's not letting me do the thing I want. Is there a symbol on the banner? I don't know, actually. I remember it being green and gold, but that's about it. Nope. You're just carrying around those glowstones. As are you. This guy's like, I gotta drop my goldstone. There's flowers here. Flowers mean power. We need flower power. Nope, no symbol. Okay, good to know. I like how I lost the carriage that I found. I was like, ah, yes, there's a carriage here. I did not know. This is crazy. It's weird because knowing me, yeah, I definitely looted this carriage, and I probably looted the other one too. I just have absolutely zero memory of this. There's no Kaiden guy here. Right. Yeah, the Kaiden guy's not here either. I guess he's a one-time kill type of enemy. That's kind of weird to me, but okay. Yeah, there ain't anything on this. It's just a basic pattern. It reminds me of the Gwendolyn helmet pattern. Boo doo 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 doo. Anything else? Nope. I think we got all the snake. Oh, yep. I'm gonna take that as a, yep, we've covered all the places the snake snail people would be. Or could be. Alright, so it's not like one specific area or anything that we could like try to like be like, oh, it's specifically close to the Stargazer's ruins. No, it's like, it's basically like everywhere up until like here. So it's like this entire cliff's edge. Which I guess makes sense because that's where the rock is, and the idea seems to be that they take crystals from like the rock. And we know that from the rhymed crystal buds and stuff that this ice, you know, ice crystals are like, you know, actual glintstone crystals of a sort. So, congrats, chat. We're walking all over glintstone. Anyway, so, with that in mind, I would assume then the idea is that, oh, some of those ice crystals that get stuck to the rock form, you know, like, you know, get thick actual crystals and stuff that they pick up as their shells and stuff, kind of like what we see in mines and stuff. There's the Spirit Stale Cave. Yeah, we got the ones in here, right? I've actually thought about this now because of that connection between snow and glintstone and stuff. Considering the fact that this frozen lake was obviously not frozen once upon a time, and we see evidence of a more tropical mountaintop at one point, I'm wondering if the astrologer event, which created the fallen rain of stars and stuff, I wonder if that has anything to do with why the mountains became snowy, right? I truly wonder. Alrighty. Alright. Yeah, nothing here. It's just slugs. Slugs and rats, as I recall, in this chamber back there. Oh, boy. What's next, then? They're not in ruin-strewn precipice, right? I'm pretty sure it's just... It's the land octopuses. It's the... I don't think there's rats. They got bats. I think that's it. Like we said, there's so many in Liurnia. None in Limgrave, as I recall. None in Castle Morn. We got the Spirit Caller snail in the catacomb there, but it's like there's so many snakes here already. And if there were any in Caelid, they're probably dead now. Green Glintstone and Cannibal Bat Sirens. Yeah, that's about it. Let's see. There's the bears, right? And I think wolves in here. Huh. Alright, I think that might be it then for today. I think we got the shots I wanted. Colosseum, good here. If I recall correctly, we get the coil shield in Seathwater, right? The Seathwater River. The Seething River. I wish we got more Kaiden stuff. Mountaintops is the emptiness area, and they could have given us Kaiden villages and fortresses. I agree. I feel like Snowfield is undercooked. I would have liked at least some remnants, like some, like, you know, like buried, like, you know, nomadic settlements or something like that. I know that nomad structures tend to not, you know, survive because, you know, they're not built to last. You know, that's kind of the point. They're not permanent. But yeah, I would have liked a little bit more. It also doesn't help that the snowfield feels kind of small for anyone to be living there, right? Like, at least with the permanent settlement areas, you're like, okay, there's a city, so there's something where you can kind of latch onto them living in this region, right? But it's like, if you're like if you're just like nomads who are like roaming around, you know, the snowfields or whatever, it doesn't feel like you have that much space, especially when you have like Marika setting up a mining town on the corner here, and you have the Nox setting up like this town with the astrologers up here. You got that church that's getting set up over there, right? But again, that's sort of the thing with the world building, right? Where you kind of just have to accept it's like, okay, the map can only be so big. Like, imagine an actual 2-scale consecrated snowfield. I think the player base would, like, actually die. They would just be like, ah, killed me. I can't take it. I can't take traveling across flat land. We talk about Mickle and stuff now? What the hell's going on? Oh, all this stuff gets burned outside, but like Prelate's like, oh wow, the trees look really pretty. Actually, how many forts have trees inside them? Huh. I've never really thought of that. Huh. I'm gonna switch over to my other character. Because we're not gonna have to deal with the bullshit. We're not gonna have to deal with any of this Ember BS. We're off Moonlight Altar. It doesn't have to be that character anymore, so... Is that the only alive trees on Gelmir too? I think by the hero's grave there's a few too. Yeah, this one. The end of the seething river. Seathwater terminus. I do find it funny how they don't translate it as seething river. They go with like Seathwater, and then that means they have to add actual river on top of that. So it's like it's funny to me because it's like, oh, it's the seething river. No, wait, what they're doing? Don't they do something? Yeah, and this is like, what was it? Like the murky? Yeah, Murkwater. It's like, ah, yes. At least they don't have Murkwater River here, but it's like, ah, yes, the murky river. A Kaiden chieftain with a shield and spear bearer would have been cool. More expensive Kiev and Roof style armor. Yeah, like, yeah, there's definitely something that could be there. And again, who knows? For all we know, we could get like a Kaiden chieftain in this in Night Rain or something as a boss. Like, again, the possibility is there. They can totally do whatever they want. Oh, we got some living plants here in the graveyard too. They didn't burn the graves. I'll try this one more time, see if I can get a better sky. There we go. Oh my. There we go. I never noticed that these are the birch trees. Yeah, they are. It's the Altus trees. We got a few conifers too here, though they're burned. They're burned conifers. This one's still got a little bit of foliage. Granted, I don't blame these trees for dying regardless because of the seething river. It's like, man, that must be hot. Those are some hot roots probably, right? But for the most part, they're not here. And they burned everything up here. But they were like, you know what? Leave the bushes. We're okay with bushes. Only got like a few trees here. This guy being like, death. Glorious death. Alright, like I said, I think I'm more or less done though, chat. I think I've got all the stuff that I want. Yeah, we know. Gee, I wonder what killed the trees here. Man, the world will never know. Uh-huh. You know, there are living trees here until you get over here. You know, the trees that were not part of the battle. And then death, glorious death. Wait, are Banished Knights all Sunrealm soldiers? I wouldn't say that. I would say that the Sun Knight though is usually used as a stand-in for Banished Knights because the Farm Colonists and the Sun Capital were like besties, right? Hence why you got Fortified Manor basically, you know, right on top of where it should be. So like when we see like for example. So we see, like, something like, Sunrealm guy hanging here, right? Probably supposed to be a Godric Banished Knight dude. Or, where's another one? We got some of them here. Probably goes back to what I call the Fringe Folk Rebellion. Or some down here, same thing, right? Over at the Mistwood Ruins area. The only time I would say that for sure there definitely are actual Sun Capital folk are here at their graveyard. And in the DLC, the same thing with Shadow Altus here. Right? Like, I think the grave's like somewhere here or something. Alright. Yeah, it's all dead. Yeah, okay. I think this mostly gets what I wanted. I wanted to reconfirm some details about the snake serpents and stuff. We know where they are in Rao. So yeah, lots and lots in Liurnia. Still a bit between Volcano Manor and Altus Tunnel, and yeah, Altus Tunnel over here and stuff. So I would say... looking at its totality, it seems to me like the serpent snakes were probably creatures of born in Rao and by the Crucible power and stuff. They got around the lands between because they're like rats. They kind of got to infest everything. Because of because of what happened with the mountaintops and the snow and all that, you got like the crystal ones down here. You have some that become spirit caller snails in that little like time capsule cave up there. Got a few more spirit snails in the catacombs there, right? High Road's catacomb or Road's End catacomb. But then otherwise, they become crystal here because of all the crystal stuff that flows with the water down here and formulates, right? You got a few again up here and stuff with the Carians and things being brought. And I think they were probably due to interactions between the Nox and the Carians, you know, between the trade between the two. I think it ended up being where some of those snakes, you know, they got on the cart or the carriage, they stuck it, you know, that type of thing, and they end up infesting a bit of Noxtella and stuff. So they're using that as a signal. So yeah, I think that more or less covers what I wanted to double check here. It just weird, is the Realm of Shadow have similarities to the Shrine of Storms and Demon Souls? I mean, both got lots of death in it. That's the only real similarity I can think of. They got shadow people, too. Though, like, you know, not, like, in the same vein, you think. And they have priests, right? They do, in fact, have priests, though they're not really, like, Grim Reaper priests. Oh, if Moogrid's alive, where you have the Kari and Night set, the armor has the same America style 60. Yeah, you've mentioned that before. I remember reading that before, Night Scout. Yeah. All right, so yeah, chat. I'm tired and stuff. Like I said, I want to get back to a normal sleeping schedule and things. So I think we're gonna end things here. I'm gonna try to get the final draft on Garrus done and get that article ready for posting tomorrow, and then I'm going to bed. So yeah. Thanks so much, guys, for coming in here and, keeping me company again as I do my random casual streams and stuff, As I've always said, maybe it'd be more efficient for me if I did that without having to be distracted by chat and things like that, but, it's nice having you guys here. It helps me actually treat this as a relaxation, not more work, so thanks so much for that. All right, see you guys all later. Bye-bye.